You don't see spaces like this very often in the modern world. The volume of space, the kind of curves. This operating theater was about a 4-week build. It's sort of the heart of the show. Thackeray is a showman, if anything, besides being a brilliant surgeon. He's a giant ego, and this is a perfect opportunity for him to sort of expound and tell people his pioneering techniques.
By drawing a line and dividing the midway point between the anterior superior iliac spine and the umbilicus parallel to the fibers of the external oblique, no matter what the size or sex of the patient, you will always find the appendix.
I did a lot of the actual physical layouts based on Presbyterian Hospital's turn-of-the-century annual reports, which were great because they have drawings and the layout of everything and photographs. But I took the details from this great building and moved them into areas of the Knick. Like, so for instance, these columns with this sort of octagonal bases and these windows were taken from that location, as well as the use of skylights. All the sets have full ceilings. When you're operating on someone, you've got the patient, but you have the doctor, and you look at the doctor like this to see his face. And so what you see behind him is the ceiling. We do have movie lighting, and the movie lighting is coming from the outside, but the lighting within the set is all practicals. Everything's painted very high gloss. It's highly reflective, so there's always an aliveness to it. The way Steven shoots, it requires that. Other people would have trouble shooting here because they can't light them the way they normally would. This is a pretty interesting picture because you can see that the tubing was for gas and then the wires is for electricity. So it was a combination gas and electric fixture, which worked pretty well for us because they were adding electricity to everything. One important story part of the Knick itself was that the Knick was sort of trapped in time, and it was built in the 1880s and is trying to move itself into the modern world.
Get it off! Get it off!
No self-concealing.
Respond, don't!
We have a scrub room that's back in this area. I added some glass here so you could always get a sense of people preparing or that you were always being viewed by the audience.
Pardon the intrusion, gentlemen. William, let me introduce my apprentice, Dr. John Thackeray. Thack, this is Dr. William Halstead.
There are a lot of exchanges in the scrub room where people are sort of confessing things. And so I thought this setup was a great way to sort of do that.
And many strokes, though with a little axe, hew down and fell the hardest timbered oak.
Thus spake Thack the Wise.
There's a great efficiency to the whole project because Steven is a really reactive director and he'll pick one angle that tells the story. And so when you work with him, you can't just say, here's a lovely decorated room. It really has to say, yeah, it's a lovely decorated room, but does it tell the story?